and we're back with another video. We're in Master League again, Master League Classic today. Going to be using Dialga with Dragon Breath, Ironhead, Thunder. We're also going to be pairing that up again with Kyogre, and that's going to be running the same moveset as last time, Waterfall, Surf and Blizzard. Now I know what you're thinking, we've already done this team, but we're going to have Togekiss in the back this time, and it's going to be running Charm, Flamethrower and Ancient Power. So let's just see how this small variation in the team affects the outcome of the games. And thanks to Antagonist Inc. for sending the games in. Okay, first game, bad lead there. Going to the Dialga safe switch. Now this is pretty good. Although Togekiss is not an ideal matchup, it's locked in, which means that provided the Dialga shields once, it can get to 2 Iron Heads, taking both the Togekiss's shields. Which is a good situation to be in because they're shieldless at that stage, which means any big hitting moves will go through. So it's not the worst situation to be in. And it will put pressure on the opposition. Do they want to go down 2 shields? And in this case, they don't. So they let the Togekiss go. Perfect for Antagonist there. He's one switch. And they bring their Dialga in and farm down. But now he can get his Togekiss on this Dialga. Now we just sort of had... a reverse of this matchup. He's going to have to shield here. Now, what he's going to try and do, I guess, is catch the move on the Kyogre, which he tries to do there, but they swap out into a Mewtwo, and this isn't looking great. Unfortunately, the Mewtwo just outpaces Kyogre very quickly, and Psystrike does a lot of damage. As you can see there, it's sort of like 70% damage. He'll throw the Surf here, but they'll shield. He'll be able to get off some Waterfall damage, but unfortunately that Togekiss is going to get one shot by the Mewtwo when it reaches its next Psystrikes, and unfortunately he can't farm down here. So he's going to have to get that Ancient Power off, and he does in time, which is great, but we know what's happening in the back here. The Dialga's got 9 heads, so unfortunately couldn't quite get back from that one. It's well played by the opponent, but... yeah, that losing lead there and the Togekiss matchup made it a little bit difficult, especially with Mewtwo in the back. Anyways, he's got a good lead here. It's pretty neutral. Melmetal generally wins. Waterfall damage is pretty oppressive, but Melmetal's able to spam off its moves quite quickly. And if it decides to go for a double super power at the end, it can just outpace the Kyogre before dying. So, but that's perfect for Antagonist here anyway, because with this Melmetal out of the way, it's basically the biggest counter to his Toonmon in the back. So with this clear and out of the way, it does... Unfortunately, he's over-tapped there and didn't get to the move, or he tried to farm the Melmetal down, but he's decided to shield. I'm not sure whether I would have done that, but that keeps his energy, but the Zekrom farms him down before he can use it. So he sacrificed a shield there for switch. And yeah, with this Zekrom, it probably didn't matter. But not to worry, let's see if he can still pull out the win here. They'll throw the Crunch here, and they go into Groudon. He can get the Iron Head off here. The Groudon's going to have to shield. He should then switch into Togekiss, which he does. Now, the Togekiss-Groudon matchup's pretty interesting. Obviously Earthquake is resisted by the Togekiss because of its flying typing, so it's got to throw Fire Punches. So, and as you can see there, they chip away, but they don't do a great deal of damage. And in the meantime, Charm does considerable damage to a Groudon. So, keep going here. Antagonist decides to throw the Ancient Power. This doesn't do a lot of damage, but he could get the boost here, and it forces the Groudon to have to shield there, because he's basically going to lose if the Groudon goes down. So he gets another Fire Punch away there, and he's able to farm down. And in the back, the Zekrom doesn't have enough energy to get to a move here, but just in case he swaps. Next game, let's see if he can get a decent lead this time. But he's been doing okay without getting those. Alright, so he lands the Togekiss here, which is perfect, because the Kyogre is just so bulky. Waterfall damage is pretty huge on Togekiss, and Togekiss doesn't have any moves that threaten the Kyogre, so he can pressure shields here by throwing this Surf. Let's see what the opponent decides to do. Shields that one, that's also perfect. He'll get to a move now. Does he decide to shield the Kyogre? Look, he's going to lose switch if he doesn't, but perhaps taking the 2 shield advantage might be more advantageous because you'll still get to another surf. Let's see what the opponent decides to do here, whether he decides to let it go. It sort of puts him in an awkward farming range even though he's 1 switch, whereas the other way he would have pressured both shields and won the matchup. So they've swapped there, and fortunately he's just gone into Dialga. Shields are still equal, and this is another good matchup here. Now this will yeah, I don't know whether this is Shadow Ball actually. May not be. No, it's not. He shielded. Probably didn't need to, and I probably would have called the bait there anyway, but didn't need to shield. We'll still win that matchup and get to the Iron Head. And the Togekiss in the back doesn't mind seeing a Giratina anyway, so perhaps saving the shield for the Giratina might have been beneficial, but it's worked out well anyway. He's managed to somehow get rid of the Giratina before it could get to another move even, so he's done well there. Now the Groudon comes in. This is where perhaps saving the shield for Togekiss might have been handy, but hindsight's 20/20, and it's still looking pretty good for him. And the Groudon's throwing a Fire Punch here, so that means he can get to the Iron Head here. Yeah, this match is looking really good. So as we'll see here, the Iron Head goes through. It's going to leave the Groudon too low to do anything. He's now gone into the Togekiss. He's gone back into the Kyogre there, and I think it's double KO'd, and that leaves him in a perfect position. He's got, I think the opponent might even quit here. Yeah, it looks like he's decided to quit, and fair enough there. There's nothing he can do at that stage. Into the next game here, and once again, look, the thing is, Kyogre's actually pretty good, but he's decided to switch out, and that's probably the way to go. Kyogre can actually win against Dialga if it doesn't shield in the opening matchup. Anyway, he's thrown the Thunder here. They probably, they're onto it, and they shield, but that's good. He's got a shield out of this matchup, and he's got Kyogre he can go into against the Heatran and farm it all the way down. Kyogre's really got nothing to fear from a Heatran. Iron Head's resisted, and Flamethrower's resisted. That looked like it was probably a Flamethrower. He shielded just to keep the Kyogre really healthy, and look, that's fair enough. That's okay. And he's farmed that all the way down. Alright, so what's he got going on here? He's going to the Blizzard, but it looks like he's baiting. Now, this would be a Dragon Claw coming through. This will do a little bit of neutral damage. Kyogre's so bulky. So he's thrown the Waterfall here. Thrown the Surf to bluff, and he's got the shield. Now he's throwing another Surf. I probably would have just swapped there into the Togekiss, because they're not going to throw another move here, and he's going to get farmed down. Anyway, he goes in after throwing the Surf, and in comes the Dialga here. So Dialga doesn't have a shield, and he does. So he'll be able to shield this, and he'll be able to get to the Flamethrower to KO the Dialga. And the Togekiss is going to have a lot of health left, and that Dragonite's going to have no hope. So Flamethrower here going through. See you later, Dialga. And yeah, he'll nicely clean this game up. So he worked that game really well. Yeah, and once again, the lead wasn't amazing for him. Alright, into the next match here. Another Dialga lead. He's certainly catching a few of those. It is playable, but I think he's probably better off going this way. So once again, he's gone into Dialga, and as we discussed previously, he will get to the Iron Head before the Groudon gets to the Earthquake. So he'll be able to get this and potentially draw a shield here, and does. Now, that'll be Earthquake, or it should be, if they know what they're doing. Nah, they've baited. And see, this is why swapping to the Dialga and committing to not shielding and throwing the Iron Head, you get a shield, and in this case, the Groudon's going to be leaving this matchup with very, very little energy. Okay, it's got 3 mud shots away there, and he can come in with a Kyogre here for 5. So it could be an Earthquake. Is an Earthquake, but he can farm down now, leaving him in a pretty good situation. The Dialga comes back in here, but here we're going to actually see that Kyogre does have some pretty decent play against Dialga. See, Iron Head's resisted, and the Waterfall damage is adding up, and he's got to the Blizzard here. Let's see if this one gets through. I always like to see a Blizzard on a Dragon. Gets through, KOs. That was amazing, and he's in a great situation here. He can chip away at that Togekiss, then bring in his own, and he's got a shield for the Ancient Power. So this is game over. He'll throw the Ancient Power here. The only way his opponent could win here is if he gets the boost, and even then it probably wouldn't win because it's going to get hit with an Ancient Power. No, he's just going to farm down for the memes. Okay, so yeah, the team. Look, it's pretty standard fare for Master League. Dialga as a safe switch is pretty common. Kyogre's great with everything that's flying around at the moment. Ho-Ohs, Groudons. And Togekiss is, well, it's a dragon meta, so Togekiss is perfect to have in there. Provided it doesn't come across a Melmetal or something like that, it's generally pretty good. Anyway, thanks for watching.